We're back. Wait, where am I? I'm not on the camera yet. There we go. We're back. Oh shoot, I forgot a hat. People are gonna know what my hair looks like.
Oh God.
Unbelievable.
This is like 2 times ever.
It's alright. I never used to wear a hat, so it's fine. Welcome back. A lot of weeks in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where we are anymore. We might be close to a year now, right? Gotta be. No, we started week 4 in the NFL.
Yeah.
Whatever.
2/3. 2/3.
2/3, yeah.
Okay.
2/3. So, Adam Stone here.
Josh Burnett.
We're gonna talk about first baseball, basketball. What do we want to get? What do you want to get into? We were actually like, hey, this could be a slow news day. We got saved a little bit by the Oakland Athletic.
Look at basketball.
Let's go. Let's start with basketball. We'll start with basketball today. Do you want to start the Stone Cold Draymond Austin stopping him butthole and Sabonis? Let's just go with it. For those of you who haven't seen, you probably have if you follow the podcast, because you probably follow sports. There it is. Draymond Green. Guy's got screw loose. Apparently, it's at this point. I don't know.
He got something loose.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy did grab his foot, but he decided
to stomp him.
Decided to stomp a mud hole, and Sabonis suspended for Game 3.
That'd be an Eric tactic.
That would be an Eric tactic. I think at this point, the worst possible matchup for the Warriors was the Sacramento Kings.
Oh yeah.
Because they are, I don't want to say a younger version of them, because that's probably not accurate.
Because they don't play good defense.
They don't play great defense, but they are fast and they like to run. And for an older team that lets you shoot a lot of threes,
not great.
Not a great matchup.
Steph's the only one that runs around on that team anymore.
Right? I mean, De'Aaron Fox is kind of doing whatever he wants to do. He can get to the basket whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things here. Tonight's Game 3. Game 3 at 10 o'clock, I believe. 10 p.m. our time. 7 p.m. Western time. If the Warriors lose, and Draymond's suspended, they lose tonight. Oh, we have people coming in. Oh. Well, here, I'll let you keep going. I'll take this over.
Okay.
Oh, it's our Stone Cold beer.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
So as we were saying, running around with a team like that, De'Aaron Fox might be the fastest player in basketball. Steph's the only one anymore that gets out and moves still. I mean, as De'Aaron Fox said it, it's still impossibly hard to guard that guy. But, God, team that likes to put up a lot of threes, if you're going to push it, you're going to push it when they shoot threes because they're not going to be getting back on defense. That's kind of a recipe for disaster for the Warriors. And seeing that Draymond gets himself kicked out of the game again, it's just, he's been out of too many games now. He's got a reputation for this at this point. He's out here beating people up, beating his teammates up, everything like that. It's not something you could do. You can't be doing that. That's just, and you would think a veteran player like that would understand it, but there's certain people who just don't get it, and that puts your team in a very shitty situation. It's not something you could be having. Draymond's got to get his shit together. He can't be doing that. Let's see. We'll go to what game? Oh, we'll go to Dillon Brooks. Now. Dillon Brooks calls LeBron old, so he's not worried about him. That's a thing, I guess. I get it that LeBron's old, but I don't know if that's the guy I'm going to go after to trash talk with. It's awfully, especially if you're Dillon Brooks of all people. Sorry, but you're not going to be remembered, pal. But that series is wild. They win without Ja Morant. That's something I don't know if I would have expected, seeing Ja Morant not in the game and the Lakers lose. This is not a team that you should be losing to without Ja Morant right now. The team is just too good. The Lakers, that is. There's just too many people on that team that should be able to fucking beat that team. If you're playing a jawless Grizzlies, I don't know. That's a lot for me. Yeah, here we go. Dillon Brooks trash talking LeBron. He went 5 of 14 for 12 points. Come, Pat. Hey, buddy. You scored 12 points. Why are you trash talking LeBron James? I don't even like LeBron, and I'm still going to defend him here. You scored 12 fucking points. Stop talking. Goodbye. God. Yeah, just staring him down. He says, I'm going to poke the bear. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. Dude, you scored 12. 12. Look, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Alright, we're locking the doors here. We're locking the doors.
Yeah, everybody else wants to come in and get fucked.
They came in. We had a building manager came in.
Wait, who? Oh, Tiffany came in?
Trying to show me something. I don't know.
Hey, get fucked.
Right. Alright, so let's quickly back for I know you moved down, but
Yeah, I moved on to Dillon Brooks.
before we get to Dillon Brooks, let's retract. If the Warriors lose, is their dynasty done?
I would think so. Because Draymond's gone after this year, I think.
Right, because I was gonna look it up. I believe his contract is up. We talked about the beginning of the year with him putting the lights out on poor Jordan Poole.
Yeah, you should fucking give everybody bops.
He's giving them the bops over and over again. And this is another playoff game that he's going to be suspended for.
You can't have that. I'm sorry.
You can't have that. Not in the playoffs.
No, absolutely not.
During the season, if you feel disrespected and you want to give him the curb stomp, Seth Rollins style, go for it. I'm just looking up the salary real quick for Draymond because I think he's done. But yeah, no, I just was. Let's see. So yeah, he has a player option for the end of the year. $27 million. Kind of low for a superstar player.
Yeah.
If whatever you want to call him. So I assume he's going to decline it to get his big money, but I don't know.
I don't know if he's gonna get any other money than that. He's getting old.
He's getting old. Just got suspended. Yeah, because like the Warriors.
He's not helping his cause.
Yeah, because the Warriors are going to be $201 million. I mean, they're so far over the cap. Like it's not even.
Yeah.
They're paying the top of the luxury, the top tier of the top tier. But yeah, no, that was my first thought was okay. They're down 2-0. Gives them the old bop, the old curb stomp. Seth Rollins, done. Goodbye. See you later. Is he done?
I think he's done with the Warriors if they don't.
Right.
If they don't do something here.
Because like the games have been close, but I don't think
Not that close.
They haven't been like enough where the Warriors won't be able to add anything next year because of just how much money they send. So they got to get Draymond to leave, or they got to trade him. They have a lot of issues, and then also I don't know if you got to it. The Cowboys have been banned.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot all about that.
They're banned.
Yeah.
The Warriors are like, please keep your fans out of our stadium if they come in.
No more cowbell.
No more cowbell. It's kind of fucked up.
No, it's kind of great. I love
Kind
that.
of fucked up. So okay. So I heard you talking about Dillon Brooks.
Yeah, guy went 5 for 14, scored 12 points, and you're gonna shit talk LeBron James. Goodbye.
Is he the new? I saw that Brian Windhorst called him Diet Draymond Green, but is he like the new Pat Beverly? Or he's gonna be really annoying?
Pat Beverly was better than him.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Pat Beverly was a pretty good player for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Dillon Brooks has always kind of stunk. He's been a good 3-and-D, I guess.
He's kind of like he's your 3-and-D guy that you want on your team.
But other than that, he does nothing. Like in 10 years, nobody will remember Dillon Brooks was in the league. I'm sorry.
The only thing I feel like the only thing you're gonna remember about him is that he was the annoying guy on the Grizzlies, right? That guy who is he the one who hurt Gary Payton Jr.? Is he the one who pushed him in the back and like
sure.
he's getting kind of weird?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't.
You scored 14 points, pal.
Yeah, and also what is
12 points?
You
5
know,
for 14, 12 points.
at the end of the day
Goodbye.
too. What does it say about the Lakers where you couldn't beat the Grizzlies?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was
Morant?
literally saying. Like, there's nothing on that team, and you couldn't beat them without John Morant.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's an issue.
You know, and actually this kind of goes into, this can go into other issues too, but I forgot about, we didn't discuss this. Dallas Mavericks. Basically, refusing to play their players to get into the lottery.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about this, but there's somebody on ESPN put out a video about how they wanted to fix the draft, all this other stuff. And I just wanted to get into it very quickly. The Dallas Mavericks basically didn't want to play in the playing games. They're like, if we can't make the top 6, what is the point of us being here?
Mm-hmm.
They know the ping pong balls were more valuable than getting to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's because of that Victor Wembanyama or whatever you want to call it. I think that's
Wembanyama,
however you want to. The guy looks like the next big thing. Obviously, everybody's losing on purpose. The Dallas Mavericks would rather have about 5 ping pong balls in there than to play in the playing game.
Yeah.
They get fined $750,000, I think it was.
Something like that.
Because they didn't play, then other teams got a chance to do the play-in, whatever.
You think Cuban was really sad about that? He went, "Oh no."
Oh, Cuban, yeah, that's
There you go.
in the words of my dad, it's a spit in the ocean for Mark Cuban, $750,000. I just the NBA system for how they do things is clearly not working.
No, and so instead of, because I didn't understand this when they changed it the first time. So instead of trying to fix it and change the system, they were like, "Oh, well, we'll just give more teams a better chance at the." And I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
how does that make any sense?
And
because instead of 4 teams tanking, you're gonna have 10 teams tanking.
Right. I don't know. And because somebody on ESPN put out a video, and I could look for it quick, but I don't want to. Somebody else can look it up if you're that invested. But they were talking about how to get rid of the NBA draft and to basically do a recruiting assignment, basically, to get rid of this situation. Because I don't know how you fix a situation like this. Because now you're the top 10 get in, right, of each conference. 10 get in. So now all of a sudden the ping pong balls are way more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
His suggestion was just to get rid of the draft and you sign players, and you recruit them like in college, and like my initial thought was that's a moronic move because I was like, that guy's gonna go to the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's what made me think.
He's gonna go to the Knicks.
He's gonna go to the Knicks. He's gonna go to the Knicks. He's gonna go to Brooklyn. He's gonna go to Phoenix. Like he's gonna go. Whoever the best players are going to go to, the best teams that have a huge hole in their positions. His argument was, why would you go to the Lakers if you got LeBron and AD there? And I'm like, well, that's dumb because you're going to have every single eye on you. Like that's, because his thing was like, oh, Jameis Wiseman went to the Golden State Warriors.
It's like, yeah, he's fucking terrible.
And he's terrible. And it's like, but the Warriors were horrible for a year because Steph was hurt, Clay was hurt.
Yeah.
But regardless, I don't know what the answer is going to be, but they have to fix something because I don't know. They put it to 10 to make it more exciting, right? To get more teams in the playoffs, give them more a shot.
But you made the lottery bigger and you made the playoffs bigger.
Yeah.
So you just.
I don't know what the answer is, but you can't have the Dallas Mavericks basically saying, yeah, we'll pay $750,000. I'd rather have more ping pong balls than a shot at the playoffs. There's got to be a solution to this.
I'm gonna turn it to NPR here for a second. It's like inflation when you raise the minimum wage and then everything else subsequently goes up with it. That's pretty much what they did with the draft and the play.
Yeah, and like I said, that was just a weird tangent that I went on to. But yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but the Dallas Maverick kind of just didn't care.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm doing if you're just gonna listen to the podcast, I'm doing the emoji where the guy's just got the palms up. He doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. It was kind of weird, especially considering how the Mavericks started. They kind of fell apart after the Kyrie trade.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and I both said it that trade made no fucking sense.
It just was I think it was hey, you know what? We need to get Luka help. He's the best player available. We're going to make the trade happen. They did not care about fit. They did not care about, because at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving has his own issues. Whatever team he goes to falls apart. But from a pure basketball sense, they did not fit. And I don't know. So then you trade for him.
It was like a desperation.
Right. So then you make all these trades for him. You get him. Then you lose all your games.
You have no bench help now.
No, that team was pretty barren, and then they traded everything for him, and now they have nothing. I don't know what the solution's going to be for the Dallas Mavericks, but that was a weird ass move by them just giving up. Didn't like it, didn't care for it.
No, not particularly.
Yeah, so we can move on from the Dallas Mavericks, but I just wanted to bring that up.
No, I like
we beat the dead horse of the Lakers because the Lakers, game one, they got a lot of help from their secondary players. I mean, I think like Hachimura was like 11 out of 13. Like they had like a lot of abnormalities, and then you get John Morant doesn't play, and you get steamrolled.
It's a lot.
The Lakers are in a weird spot too because what do? You got LeBron. You can't get rid of LeBron just because the amount of money and revenue he's going to generate being on your team, you have to have him on there.
But he's
AD,
such a fucking liability now.
He just doesn't play defense. Like he just same thing with Anthony Davis. Is he going to play? Is he hurt? Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's the playoffs. You can't leave the game because you have a bruised forearm. Like be a decoy. Pretend it doesn't hurt. Do something. You can't. Coach, bring me out on my arm. I got shot. Like what are we doing here? Like. Yeah, the guy's made
that's the NBA though, unfortunately.
But I mean, like Anthony Davis was a top 5 player in the league.
I would give
when
him
healthy,
that. I would give him that.
Higher, right? Like
I would give him that.
And you can't.
Yeah, but that's like I don't know. That's like all right. If you want to go down this rabbit hole, this is like Zion and fucking Ben Simmons and all those other clowns that.
I mean, I would put Davis above them first. Well, maybe not Zion, but
I
understand.
Yeah. But like, these guys just don't play. Zion's 2 foot off the block and just absolutely yamming things down. He's like, yeah, I'm still not 100%. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
And that's going to be a weird thing because we can talk about that real quick because the Pelicans, you have Zion, you have a loaded young team. Like you look at their team on paper. Of course, on paper is completely different, but on paper they are loaded. They're super young. They're super athletic. They're very good at basketball. When they play and they're healthy, you're like, oh my god, this is one of the best teams in the league. They can do some serious damage, but it's like
I've given up on Zion and Simmons. I've given up on both of them.
I mean, Simmons is done, right? I mean, I think Zion, I have a little bit more hope for, but this is year 2, year 3, where he's just it's like, dude,
he's played 8 games, and it's like, yeah, I can't play anymore. It's like,
he missed his whole rookie season, and he played most of the second season. I'd have to look it up, and then
I don't even know if it was most.
It was. I know. Well, for him it was most. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was half the season. I could pull it up real quick. Apparently, I got to share it with my friends. Actually,
I don't know. I don't know. It's just this is.
He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Now. Just throwing that out here. Where the hell is it?
I just don't understand because. I guess this is kind of why you get in the situation of you pick guys straight out of college after 1 year. Like
yeah. So yeah, year 2 he played 61 games, which so he played 24, 61.
None. And then 29.
29.
It's so fucking bad.
And he signed an extension, so he's already got his 4-year extension.
But like, one, if you're the Pelicans, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean,
and 2. I don't know. Like, I've never understood why teams will pick a player 1 year removed from college and things like that. Cole Anthony, North Carolina point guard, he was electrifying to watch. Goes into the league, and he averages like 13 points a game for the Mavericks right now, or the Magic off the bench. Like, I never understood that to begin with. But like, what is bothering you so bad that you can't even you're out there in warm-ups and you're yamming in a slam dunk contest pretty much, and then they go, "Can you play?" He's like, nah.
So and a lot that goes.
I don't fucking understand it.
He allegedly, per sources, was not cleared by the Pelicans. I don't know how true that is.
Then why is he fucking dunking in warm-ups?
Right. Then
stop.
That's where we have if you're watching him throw these balls and then also I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have an answer because as he goes out there, he warms up. He's done. He goes out there. He looks like he's a superstar player. He says, "I don't feel like Zion." He's like, "Okay, well, you're out there slam dunking the ball in warm-ups." I mean, it is what it is.
You're out there practicing for the dunk contest.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you could start lumping a lot of these guys together because Zion now has played about 100 games in 4 years. Signed his big extension, so I mean he's with the Pelicans the next 4 years.
You imagine playing.
He's only 22, but it's like if you're not healthy from 18 to 22, what are the chances as you get older you can be more healthy?
Right.
It's just not. I mean, it's better than the yips that I think does Ben Simmons have? What does he have?
Oh.
The back yips?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the back is barking at him.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about the other teams in the playoffs. The Bucks win without Giannis. That was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Because I kept checking that game because I was like, wow, the Heat's gonna go up 2-0 on the Bucks. I still wasn't gonna write the Bucks off. The Bucks win. I mean, the Heat, you have playoff Jimmy Butler, but they also don't have Tyler Hero. So you kind of look at the Heat now and they have no bench.
Yeah, because Duncan Robinson's starting now.
I mean, you got.
And so now you got Kyle Lowry and you got Kevin Love coming off the bench.
Lowry, Love, Oladipo, and
Oladipo. Oh, I wish he was still the real Oladipo. It makes me so sad.
That was hard to watch. I mean, you still got playoff Jimmy Butler, who was 8 out of 12, only played 28 minutes, but that game was so out of hand. Like they couldn't stop anybody. Couldn't stop anybody.
It's what Middleton was the big scorer of the game, right?
For the Bucks, well, it was kind of everybody.
Was it?
I mean, Grayson Allen had a game. For him, anyway. I mean, he had 16. Drew Holiday had 24. Brook Lopez had 25. Middleton had 16.
Portis, 25.
Yeah, Brook Lopez. What a guy! And then they had off the bench. Ingles had 17.
Okay.
Plus 28.
Yeah.
Good lord. So.
Brook Lopez, one of my favorite players still in the league.
Man, he has adapted. He has lasted a lot longer. I mean, for a while there, I was like, oh, this guy's done. Get him out of here.
As soon as he left Brooklyn, everybody thought he was done.
Kept playing.
And now he shoots threes and he plays a fucking stretch five.
What an adaptation to the league for him. Nuggets up 2-0 on the Timberwolves. I don't really see anything.
Timberwolves goodbye.
Timberwolves have such a clunky team. Like it just doesn't. Whatever. I know we've talked about it, but Gobert and Towns just don't fit together.
No.
And then Anthony Edwards, man, you better make him happy because he is a superstar, and I don't know. I don't know.
Could you? I don't.
Oh, we got tonight's games. Nets 76ers. I think the Nets had a very good season, all things considered.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All things considered, they are kind of loaded for the future. They're actually very much like Oklahoma City Thunder. I think they are loaded with options. I mean, I know Oklahoma City, they're gonna have to figure something out because they have like 15 first-round draft picks in the next 3 years. But you only can have 15 players on your team, so you kind of have to. You got to make some trades. You got to move around.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to figure something out to.
Imagine if they package back up and get Kevin Durant again. Just send a bunch of fucking first rounders and the Suns.
We'll get to the Suns in a second because we'll get to there in a second. But that 76ers up 2-0.
Yeah,
Nets are probably gonna get bounced, but they have positioned themselves for the future.
Because they're just figuring out how to fucking play with each other.
They're kind of. I mean, that's the thing is the Nets.
You look at Bridges is 26. Cam Johnson's like 24, 25.
Yeah, they're a super young team. They got loads of first round draft picks from Durant, Irving. The 76ers look good. We kind of figured they were going to look good.
I mean, I'm sorry, but nobody on the Nets is stopping Embiid.
No.
Claxton could try.
That's the problem.
Claxton could try.
You're going to run into the 76ers is you got to have somebody who can at least slow down Embiid. You're not going to stop him because he's real good. But you got to at least have somebody who can slow him down. Like Bucks, you have Giannis. He can challenge him up and down the court.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes down to it, I'm hyped for that matchup.
The only place that Claxton's gonna maybe give him trouble is on defense. On offense, and Embiid's gonna eat him.
That's the same thing. I'm intrigued to see what happens with the Bucks, or not the Bucks. I'm sorry, Boston Celtics, and then also staying in the East because the Celtics are gonna steamroll the Hawks, right? But also, I don't know if you saw. We could talk about the Hawks for 3 seconds. Trae Young voted the most overrated basketball player in the league amongst his peers. For the end of the season.
I didn't see that.
I don't know if you didn't see that. They said the most overrated player. He's tough because if you look at the advanced statistics, he's like the 3rd worst defender in the league, and it's not even like he's
terrible.
So bad.
Yeah.
He is so bad defensively.
His plus minus is always terrible because he doesn't fucking guard anybody.
He just can't play defense. But let's say they get bounced. Okay, like the East is kind of shaking out how we thought the East was going to shake out, except for New York Knicks.
The Knickerbockers.
The Knickerbockers. Just hanging around. They kind of have one of those teams, though, it's like, you look at their team, and you're like, okay, and you're like, well, can
I love Julius Randle.
I love Julius Randle, and he always falls apart in the playoffs, right? Like, that's kind of been his thing, is he falls apart in the playoffs. He's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett? RJ Barrett was going to be the guy until Zion came along in his draft. And then RJ Barrett said there at the Knicks, he's looking okay. He's got to shoot the ball a little bit better. Brunson is kind of the unsung hero for the New York Knicks.
Yep.
Because they're at 1-1 with the Cavaliers.
I just don't see them being able to, like, Cavs got better guard play. And then if you want to go inside against the Cavaliers, you're going in there against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen.
Like
have fun.
Have fun. If you look at the Cavaliers team, like, they're kind of loaded, right? They're kind of loaded. We talked about at the beginning of the year, like, we don't know how Garland and Mitchell are going to fit together.
Garland just fit right in as the distributor,
right?
As
he
the
kind
facilitator.
of was like, you know what?
He's like, give it to me. He's like, I'll take I'll dime everybody up.
Yep. I mean, Mitchell had 13 assists last game.
Okay.
Good for him. I forgot they got LeVert off the bench.
Yep.
The other Lopez brother's still kicking around.
Robin.
Yep. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, the Knicks are interesting because you keep looking at their team and you look at their team. Like, I'm looking at it now, like, just from I know they lost the game, but like the other night.
Who's the other kid?
I mean, Robinson actually doesn't look
Robinson.
pretty bad.
I like Robinson.
Cameron Grimes there. It's not Cameron
Quickly.
Grimes, but yeah.
Quickly's pretty good. I like Quickly.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely one of the better Knicks teams. This is gonna be wild. Stephen A. Smith said the Knicks are winning. They're winning this series. I don't know if I buy that, but this is kind of the only really toss-up I think in the East, is to see who comes out of the Knicks Cavaliers series. Because that's 1-1. Because all the other ones I think are 2-0.
Yeah.
Like, Boston's gonna blow out whoever. Boston will blow out the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nets are done.
Nets are. You hate to see it because they had such a good year, but I mean.
I'm excited for them years to come here.
Years to come, they look like they have some nice young pieces. Let's get to the West. We already went through the Kings, Warriors. We went through Lakers, Grizzlies. Obviously, we know what the big matchup is, right? Like, no doubt about it. Suns, Clippers.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's Suns, Clippers. There's a lot in this series. Like, there's a lot in this series because you have the Phoenix Suns, who went all in for this year. You've got Durant, you got Chris Paul, you got Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. If you don't win, because it's 1-1 right now. It's 1-1. If you don't win, what does that say about Kevin Durant?
Hey,
what does it say about Chris Paul?
Don't call my man Brody out. Brody's a dog.
I mean,
Brody's a dog.
I'm just throwing it out there.
He's giving Kevin Durant all sorts of fits. Brody is a dog. He got that dog in him.
He does. He does.
I was so happy when the Clippers picked him up. I was like, this is the only team that fucking fits anymore. This team makes complete fucking sense. And now you got the Claw and you got Brody playing defense.
But so the thing that you watch, so I just wanna the Clippers team here, right? They had built their super team, 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was. I'd have to look.
Actually, if we want to say real quick, one of my teams to win it all this year, the Clippers and the Nuggets.
You did.
My two teams.
You did pick those two teams to win it all this year. So you have Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, DeAndre Ayton, Craig. I forgot about Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
who's the guy that they got from the
TJ
Nets?
Warren.
Yeah.
Playing against, series is 1-1. Playing against the corpse of Nicholas Batum, who was written off years ago with the Hornets. Like, his last 2 years with the Hornets, they're like, this guy's the biggest bum. How is he still in the league? He actually should be arrested for robbery for the paycheck that he's getting. Eric Gordon, who's seemingly been around forever. I'm actually going to check to see how old he is. Apparently he's only 34 somehow.
No, stop.
That's
an Albert Pool birth certificate.
So you have the corpse of Eric Gordon, who's left for dead.
Well, he has and has never played any sort of defense in his fucking entire career. Right. The only reason he sticks around is because he can shoot the ball.
Oh, he's always been a great shooter, and he's never been healthy either.
No.
You have the corpse of Russell Westbrook, right?
Don't do that to my man Brody.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Don't do that to Brody.
He was with LeBron and AD, and they're like, oh, this guy's done. Nobody wants him.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to give him any sort of credit for doing anything good on that team.
I'm just throwing it out,
Every
man.
issue with the Lakers was Russell Westbrook's fault.
Of course it was. Of course it was. They had to blame somebody.
Let Russ cook. Fuck the other Russ. Let this Russ cook.
But basically, Left 4 Dead. These are all cast off that were. I mean,
Paul George was fucking a cast off.
How is Eric Gordon younger than Russell Westbrook?
Wait, no, he's not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
That makes me uncomfortable. Don't care for that.
No.
Then you have the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, who, ever since he left Toronto, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't play, maybe his knee's messed up, maybe his knee's not messed up.
Yep.
And you're tied 1-1 with the mega super team that is the Phoenix Suns. And I think there's a lot to go into with the series because, one, if the Clippers win, it's only 1-1. We still got a lot of games left.
This is my favorite series.
This is the best series. This is the best series because I think there's a lot of storylines in it and for basketball legacy history. So
I think Russ would put his nuts in Kevin Durant's mouth if they win.
But like, what does this say about Kevin Durant and Chris Paul specifically?
That they could never get over the hump.
I mean, Kevin Durant has been on loaded team after loaded team after loaded team. Handpicks his team, handpicks his superstars. He's never really been on a bad team. Like, look at throughout. I mean, I know it took a while to get the pieces together, but they ended up with Westbrook, Harden, Kevin Durant, couldn't get it done.
Yeah. Well, when they were the Supersonics,
right? They were bad. They were bad.
Other than that, he's always been a part of a good team.
Right. Got rid of Harden. I think they made it to the final. They had Serge Ibaka. I mean, that Thunder team was loaded. He was done. Then he goes to Golden State and he wins one. Right, 1 or 2, Golden State, I think 2. Joined a team that was 73-9.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's been on a bad team.
Loaded. I don't understand it. And honestly, I still think Kevin Durant is a phenomenal player. Everybody in the league will tell you he's a phenomenal player.
I agree.
But for whatever reason, he just has never gotten it done. Because there's a lot of people who say Kevin Durant, healthy, one-on-one, the most difficult guy in the league to guard.
Yep,
the most, and it's like, that's a big praise.
I mean, he's 6'10", 6'11", and
he handles like a guard, and he shoots like a guard.
Shoots like a guard. I think this is my opinion.
And he plays defense.
This is my opinion of Kevin Durant. You can put him on any team, and he will elevate that team because you know what he's going to do. He could have the best teammates, he could have the worst teammates. You know Kevin Durant.
He doesn't need the ball in his hands either.
I just don't know, and I've said it earlier, your brother got mad at me, then he was happy with me after he got traded. I just don't know how much he helps a team besides getting his. Because he's not going to be the guy who shoots the ball 40 times a game.
No.
That's just not what he does. He takes his opportunities when they're open.
He's actually efficient most of the time.
And I'm not saying he's a bad defender, but he's going to guard whoever the 4 is on the other team, whoever's the 3 on the other team.
Because
I just don't know.
You can't have him guard the best and then come down and get guarded by the best. It's just not gonna work. Because the minutes that he plays, it's not gonna happen.
I mean,
the guy plays 40 minutes a game.
He played 44 the other night.
40 plus minutes a game is what he normally plays, and you want him to guard the best and be guarded by the best.
I mean,
that's like.
I do have a hot question for you though. If they get bounced, Kawhi Leonard's guarding him. And Kawhi Leonard's the #1 scorer on the Clippers. Where do you rank Kawhi? Because Kawhi has won rings now.
Yeah.
He carried the corpse of the Raptors. You told me the Raptors were going to win. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Kevin Durant because at the end of the day, he's going to be a top 30, top 20 basketball player of all time. Incredible scorer.
It comes down to one thing.
I just don't know.
Kevin Durant looks like Gumby.
He does look like Gumby.
Kawhi doesn't.
Yep.
Honestly, I think that's what it is. If Kevin Durant was bigger, I think it would be a different story. He's not going to take the abuse like a Kawhi Leonard will. He's just not.
Because you look at it, Kevin Durant played 44 minutes, 10 out of 19, so he shot over 50%, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 25 points. That was game 2. He played very well. That's the kind of game you're always going to get from a Kevin Durant. I'm looking at this team and it's like the Clippers are basically a bunch of cast-offs, a bunch of corpse that everybody left for dead. and
their superstar is like
don't get me wrong, like Westbrook was a superstar. At one point, Gordon was a monster, like especially
scoring. No, but I'm saying Kawhi Leonard, it was left for dead.
Kawhi Leonard was one of those guys where I remember he left the Spurs, and everybody's like, why do you want to leave the Spurs? Like, you have a great thing going here, and he kind of was like, yeah, I just didn't give an answer. Like, yeah, I don't want to. Weird dude, right? Goes to the Raptors.
He's the fun guy.
Yeah, he goes. That's right. He goes to the Raptors. They win a ring, and he's not happy there. Basically, Kyrie Irving Jr. is basically what it was.
He said, "Hey, yeah, I took this team on my back and
right.
won
and
a championship."
I just look at this series and I feel like if you're the Suns and you don't win, I just don't know where you go from here. I mean, like I just
because that does not that like we were talking about. That's not only Chris Paul and Kevin Durant. That's then going against Devin Booker. That's DeAndre Ayton. Like, what do these guys do?
What do you do? Like, what do you do? Because you had this team. They come out of the bubble, like they finished the bubble 9-0, right? Whatever it was, and everybody's like, "Oh man, this is the next big team." They get Chris Paul, and you're like, "Holy shit!" They make it to the finals. They don't win. Like, okay, stumble out of the blocks. They didn't finish great because they were in the playoff. They didn't finish in the finals last year, right? Because Golden State won. So because they lost to Golden State, I believe.
Yeah.
Then you add Kevin Durant, and you're just struggling. And it's like you have the arguably one of the best point guards of all time. You have arguably one of the best forwards of all time with Kevin Durant.
I would say
the most superstar.
I would say the most prolific scorer in NBA, Kevin Durant.
And then you have Devin Booker, and you still can't win. And Kevin Durant can only win with Stephen Clay and Draymond. Chris Paul still needs the ring, and he's looking for it. I don't know.
It's gonna be so sad if Chris Paul does not get a ring.
It's gonna be devastating because even though watching these series, like, do you think the Suns could beat Denver? Like, I don't know. Like, watching Denver play, it's like I don't know. And do you
playoff Murray? You want playoff Murray, and then you want the Joker. Sorry.
And nothing against the Kings. The Kings are so young and they run up and down. They don't really play a whole lot of defense. Like I don't, but like. Do you see the Suns running up and down with them? Like, I don't know if I see it. I don't know, but like,
yeah.
So you got to get by the Clippers, then you're gonna have to get by because I think that's the 4 or 5. So they're gonna have to get by Denver next. Is basically what it's gonna be if Denver wins, assuming they win.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna.
Yeah, because as long as the favorites don't win, then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joey B just walked by.
Did he? He's dead to me. Can't wait to show him all the beer I just bought. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a very intriguing series because
it's my favorite series, and I just think honestly,
a lot of
the Knicks Cavs. Sure, I've been kind of keeping tabs on it, but every other series could get fucked. I've been focusing on that series.
Yeah, because like I don't know. They gonna beat the Grizzlies? The Suns against the Grizzlies? I mean, that would be a fun series.
I think they beat the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I don't know. They might.
I think they could beat the Suns.
I mean, that's a hell of that's a gauntlet now in the West. I mean, all of a sudden you look at the top 4 teams and you're like, oh God, that's some teams you're gonna have to beat. But anyway, I think a week from now, I mean, we'll be talking about the draft a week from now, but I want to look back at this because if the Clippers lose or if the Clippers win, boy, Durant's legacy takes a huge blow. Chris Paul, I don't know where to fit Chris Paul anymore because Chris Paul, you look at his numbers, he's going to finish as a top 3 point guard all the time. You look at his win
shares,
he's
not going to have any fucking wins.
And he's going to have no rings. He's going to have no rings, and you're going to see the same. I mean, Chris Paul's a weird situation because he came to the Hornets, they were dead. Like, he came to the Hornets, they were dead. Didn't really get, he took them as far as he could take them. He tried to get to other places. He went to the Thunder. They left him for the Thunder. Takes the Thunder to the playoffs.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that Thunder team had no business doing anything.
Nothing.
And he goes, "Come on." And he's like, "This is what we're doing right here."
Either get in the backpack, go stand in the corner. I'll get you open. Like,
but then, like you put him on a team like this, and he's not gonna get to the fucking finals.
He played with Harden, like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but you're gonna put Chris Paul on this team after what he did with the Thunder, and he's not gonna get them to the finals.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
There's no part of it that makes any sense.
And I mean, like, he's overrated defensively because he gets a lot of steals, so everyone thinks he's a good defender, but like he's got short arms.
He lets them get by, and he lets them
get by. He's got a lot of.
That's how Chris Paul plays defense.
You know,
Get by and poke it.
I remember when he was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, steals, and then I remember it was when he was with the Hornets, he played the Spurs, and he couldn't get away with half the shit against Tony Parker. Tony Parker roasted him.
Yeah, took his
and it was like, all of a sudden, you're like, okay, he's not a good defender. But, I mean, we're talking Devin Booker, a top 5 scorer in the league? Shooting guard?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
let's say we'll give him number 5. You have Durant, probably the best scorer in the league. I mean, relatively. I mean, they're on a loaded team, so they don't have to score as much. And then, I mean, DeAndre Ayton's a pretty good center.
I would put DeAndre Ayton top five center.
So why can't they win? What is going on? And then you're playing against Russell Westbrook, who everybody thought he was done. Covered him up there. He was half in the grave. Not saying that he was, but that was a perception. But then it's like, no Paul George.
Does this fall onto Monty Williams at some point? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. Because, like, what do you do? Because, like, that's the thing that you're going to get into the weird conversation is going to be, is Durant just not that good? It's hard to believe that could
you
be
will never
thing.
convince me of that. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you look,
You're
but it's
never
like,
convinced
he
me.
can't win anywhere. It's wild. I don't know, but I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it isn't his fault because obviously wherever he's gone, they've made it pretty far. But like Chris Paul can't win.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Like the Suns were loaded, but the Suns can't fucking win. They keep getting close and they just can't get over the hump. And maybe a lot of it too is it's hard to win in the league. That's also a thing because unfortunately in basketball, you have the top tier teams and those teams are loaded.
Yeah.
So you have to get by them, but
you're telling me on paper that Suns team is not top 3 of the teams left in the playoffs.
that should be one of the best teams of all time,
Right.
and they're not.
Right.
And it's like, why? I need answers. I need answers immediately. But also
Where's
too,
Pop? Can we get Pop to coach the Suns for the rest of the
they win
series?
the ring. I think they win the ring. But also, I think we also need to throw it in there. Where does Kawhi Leonard fall? Because Kawhi Leonard, pretty much since he started with the Spurs, he's did it with the Raptors. Now he's taking the corpse of the Clippers, and they're taking it to the Suns. I mean, don't get me wrong, the series is 1-1.
Well,
Who knows? The Clippers could
Kawhi
win
is
the
an
next.
anomaly.
the
Kawhi
Clippers-
has always been.
The Suns could win the next 3 games. Done. Goodbye, Clippers.
Yeah.
This conversation's not really relevant anymore. But you watch that game and you watch Kawhi Leonard, and you're like, God, this guy's pretty good. He looks kind of clunky out there a little bit, but he gets it done. He's in Durant's face, and he's going to score 30 points.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know. I just think that a week from now, we could be having a conversation about
that the
Durant.
Suns lost again.
We could have a conversation about Durant, Chris Paul. Are they really that good? We could be having a conversation, hey, is Kawhi Leonard secretly overpowered? Like, is he too strong? Like, do they got to figure something out? And then, if so, what a career that has been wasted for injuries and being weird because he doesn't want to play. Yeah, I don't know. My knee's fine. No, it's not fine. Yeah, I'm not playing back-to-backs.
Well, it's
All
because he's
those
wearing
things.
his New Balances.
Yeah, he's got something going on.
Maybe if he wasn't wearing his New Balances, he'd be alright.
Yeah. Let's hit baseball real quick because we only got a couple more minutes here.
Okay. And that was because that was pretty much all the. Yeah.
Yeah, because the only thing really I want to talk about baseball, your buddy Max Scherzer, that's been a big one.
Yeah. We want to talk about Vermont too.
Oh wait, hang on. Let's talk about that very, very, very quickly, because I want to talk about the Oakland Athletics too.
Okay.
Very
yes.
quick. Oakland Athletics. Let's just get into it. 5 seconds here.
Okay.
Bought land in Las Vegas. They're moving. Goodbye. Done. See you later. Probably not next year, but at least 2 years from now.
$1.5 billion stadium.
Now,
When is all I gotta say is when the fuck has this guy spent $1.5 million on anything, and now he's gonna spend 1.5 to build a new stadium in Vegas?
yeah.
How much did he hate Oakland?
So, okay.
I'm absolutely baffled.
The Oakland Athletics, so I looked this up this morning because I wanted to talk about it. The reason the Athletics didn't spend money was the owner only spent what they made. So if they made $30 million the previous year, that was their cap. If they made $40 million, that was their cap. So his goal was that he refused to ever borrow money, refused to spend extra money. Was the reason that I found why they always had their payroll so low. So again, which would make a lot of sense. If they're losing money, they get $29 million in revenue share. That's what they're putting into the team. That's all you get.
Okay.
And I know I looked into it. The stadium's falling apart. It's rated one of the worst stadiums.
Yeah, there was possums in the visiting.
Possum? Yeah, we saw that there was in the commentating booth,
yeah.
right? So from what I gathered from researching it was the majority of cities either split the cost or they pay for the cost of the stadium to come in.
Yes, yes.
So because it just generates
there's at least some sort of percentage.
So there's always some revenue going in.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
For whatever reason, these parties did not get along. Whatever the investment group is, whatever. City of Oakland was not giving them any money. The owner wasn't putting any money in. All of a sudden this morning, the Oakland Athletics agreed to $1.5 billion stadium. Now, 35,000 seat stadium, so it's not going to be crazy big.
Yeah.
I mean, considering, Yankee Stadium holds more than that. I mean, they built $1 billion, 20, 30, whatever the stadium, I'll look that up.
I would say they're probably somewhere.
Partially retractable roof.
Okay.
And the A's are working with Nevada and Clark County, where it's going to be held, to fund the stadium.
Okay.
They're hoping by 2027 the stadium will be ready and they're playing there.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to look between, because they won't be there next year, Oakland, but like you're going to have no fans in the stands the next couple of years. You're going to probably have to find somewhere else to play in Las Vegas if you're going to move it to Las Vegas. But I don't know what happened where this guy has decided to spend money. Maybe Las Vegas was like, hey, we'll take part of it. We'll take a big chunk of it is probably what happened.
You playing SoFi?
I don't know. You got to figure something out if you're the Athletics because this is an embarrassment. We were talking about it yesterday where there's just teams. Your brother texted us and said, hey, it's kind of embarrassing to watch the Mets play the Athletics because it's like, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. And he's not wrong.
No, because what did I send you that text? There was 3 AAA stadiums that had a higher attendance than when Shohei was pitching on the mound in Oakland or something. Yeah. And it's like, you can't have that. I'm sorry, that's just
can't have that.
That's disrespectful.
Well, as more details come out, because this just happened just this morning, so like I only did like a quick 20 minutes on Reddit, bouncing around through sites. So we'll talk more about the Athletics next week. Real quick, because we're almost out of time. Herman, Max Scherzer, getting a little trouble-ish.
One does.
Talk about Herman real quick.
Okay.
Because has Rosen in his glove? Is that
Rosen,
what we're going?
Yeah.
Has Rosen in his glove? That we're gonna go with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything.
Make him change his glove is basically what happened, right?
To Herman,
right? Yeah.
And they told him wash his hands.
Wash his hands, change the glove. He stays in the game, pitches. I don't know. He had like 11. He had like a really good game.
Yeah, because he was pitching a no hitter or a perfect game through 3 or 4 innings.
Right.
And comes back out, gets checked the next time, and umpire tells me, he goes, I thought I told you to wash your hands.
Yeah.
Like that's picture perfect. You get it right and I was like.
On Twitter, if you want to look this up, it's easy on Twitter. Type in Herman hands.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
It was like.
Then it was like,
hey,
in 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was hey, let's clean this up. Whatever, they're feeling the glove, they're feeling his hands, everything like that, and they're like, yeah, you got to clean this up or something like that is what they say.
Yeah.
And then the next time it was, I thought I told you to wash your hands. Guy still pitching on the mound. They give 2 fucks less.
Yep. If type in Domingo Herman hands, sticky hands, put whatever. Yeah.
Like, I understand if you don't want to toss him, if it is just.
That was 4 days ago.
Yes.
4 days ago.
If it is just Rosin or things like that, I can understand that. But like, then yesterday Max Scherzer gets tossed. They want to inspect him.
Just to go to a quick summary to make it easy. They check his hands, said, hey, wash your hands. Comes back out, checks his hands again, wash your hands. Third time he comes back out, okay, your hands are good. Is basically what happened. So he gets away with 2 innings.
Yeah.
Basically, hey, your hands aren't feeling right. Moving on to yesterday.
Max Scherzer, what was it? End of the 3rd inning, I believe.
End of the 3rd inning. Check his hands.
And they don't like what they feel.
They're like,
Tell him to get new glove.
They check his glove. They checked it because it
was in the glove.
They said it was the inside and it was in the webbing of his glove when they were rubbing his glove. Per sources of the umpire. Max is not happy about this. Immediately not happy. Has a meltdown. Change your glove. Okay, fine, I'll change the glove. Changes the glove, comes out, pitches the inning.
No, didn't even pitch the inning.
He didn't pitch the inning?
They checked him on his way out again.
Checked him on his way out with a different glove, and they're happy, right? At that point, they're happy. Pitches the inning, comes off, check it, life is good. He comes back.
Again, and they checked him again on the way out.
Checked him again with his old glove.
I don't know if it
We
was
don't know if it was his old glove.
No, I couldn't tell you whether it was the old glove or not.
It's hard to see. They check him again, check the inside, check the webbing. You're gone, buddy. Give me your glove, you're gone, we're investigating.
Yeah, and all Scherzer said was, per what the Mets sideline reporter, I guess is what you want to call him.
Yep.
Steve Gelbs, if you will.
Yep.
He said that they were all saying rosin.
Yep.
He said, I swear on my family, I swear on my kids,
it's just rosin. Kids that it was just rosin.
And I mean, my brother said it earlier, there's no reason for him to try to ruin or taint a Hall of Fame career right now by using anything other than rosin. But like,
he's kind of been the leader head of, he was against spider tack, he was against, he has been against all this stuff.
Yeah.
They believe they took his glove and they're investigating his glove to see what substance or whatever is in it. So, I don't know, there needs to be, if this is going to happen, do you just leave the gloves out on the field? Like, do you leave it out somewhere so that players can't touch it in between innings?
But if it's rosin, the rosin bag's behind you. On the mound.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
And then do you need an independent guy touching the pitcher's hands? Like, what is the point? Like, you let one guy stay in because he had a sticky substance on his hands, told him to wash his hands. Okay. And then 3 days later, because I guess, it would be 3 days later, Max apparently has it on his hands.
But it was not on his pitching hand, though.
Enough, right, because it's his glove hands. Enough where
they felt nothing on his right hand.
Did they think he was rubbing the ball in it? I don't know. But
then it would still get on your pitching hand.
I don't know.
That's why I don't understand.
I don't know, and we're gonna find out because I believe the Mets.
And it's not like Scherzer was fingering the inside of his glove or something.
Oh yeah, let's get in there.
He's going inside where his hand goes to fucking get the rosin out.
Because I'm trying to think if
it's an immediate 10-game suspension.
Is it immediate 10 game? The Mets have already said.
It can already be appealed though.
Already appealed.
Yes.
Yep.
Just a lot. Just kind of wild, honestly.
Yeah. Now the umpire said it was the stickiest hand he's ever felt since checking people's hands. Was Max Scherzer's hands.
Yeah, but they also told Max that one time Max was going to strip naked on the field. So.
Right, he did, because he's kind of always been having issues.
Yeah, well, because, I don't know. I feel like of all the people, I'm not even saying this because Max is a match pitcher anymore.
Yeah.
Of all the people, it's not going to be Max Scherzer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It'd be the last person I would ever assume it would be.
So he's only the third player who's been ejected from a game. But I don't know. Like I said, because I actually just checked it out. So 2 umpires both came over, both talked to the reports afterward and said Max Scherzer was the stickiest hand that they've ever touched. But
it wasn't his hand. It was his glove.
I'm just.
So that's already fucked up.
I'm just telling you what.
That's already fucked up.
I'm reading this ESPN article right now.
They were more concerned with the glove and the non-pitching hand than the throwing.
Because they were checking the glove. The glove was the problem.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
So that's what I don't understand. Like what?
Yeah.
Baseball, fucking figure it out, please. And
yeah.
And then just to top it all off, like I said yesterday, in Double A, like we talked about last week, they're stickier baseball. Please get help.
Right.
Help me, please.
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Help me.
What was the other rule? I know I sent this to you and your brother. What was the other 2 rules that they wanted to?
That was like the Atlantic. That wasn't in actual baseball. Like that was in.
Right, but what were the new rules that they wanted to try out? I guess it doesn't matter. We can talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'd have to find that out.
I can check that out.
Well,
but
it'll be
either way, the Scherzer situation is going to be.
Oh, it's gonna blow up.
Interesting. Oh, here it goes.
You found it?
Yeah, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Designated pinch runner.
Oh, yep.
Which.
Stop. You're trying too hard.
You're now all of a sudden you're basically, but it's like what a weird.
Now you're trying to run 10 players on the field.
You're basically like,
not 11 players because the pitcher's not hitting anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that.
And they want to do further limitations on the pitcher's ability to make pickoff moves.
Stop.
Which, I mean, we're already now at like 82, is it 82%, I think, as of yesterday, or 81%, somewhere around there, stolen base success rate in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what more do you need? Like, and now it's at this point.
Do you want to just tell them, oh, you get a single? So anytime you hit a base, you get a second.
Just go to second.
Yeah.
And then now you're going to do that, you're going to limit pickoff moves, and then you're going to give them a designated pinch runner where it's like.
Stop. Goodbye.
What are we doing now? Like, that's going to be a lot because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it as far as, like, you want to use your whole roster, like, I get it. But, like, you're going to start getting guys who are just fast, and you're just going to stick them in there. I know we're cutting it close on time. But, yeah, I don't know. It's going to get, Max Scherzer situation is going to get interesting because.
And then Bob Manfred, chill out, please.
I mean, there's a lot of rules that they're throwing out there.
Stop.
Yeah. Don't know.
Like this is when you're actually going to start making me not want to watch at this point.
Yeah, I haven't actually checked the ratings. Remind me next week before we do our podcast.
Yeah, we'll have
check
to
the ratings.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're gonna do our next. I want to wait till after the draft because we'll probably get some good stuff.
Probably. So what that would be? We'd skip a week.
Thursday
then?
night. No, it's Thursday night, isn't it? A week from today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's baseball season.
I know you're all in on baseball season, so so am I. I think it's because of fantasy baseball. You guys got me back into it, but yeah, the games are interesting to watch. I don't know. I actually just checked before I finished the article. We'll get more into it with Max Scherzer. They also suspect that he may have had sunscreen on, which is apparently sunscreen.
Well, sunscreen and rosin makes it really sticky.
So that was allegedly.
But it still wasn't his pitching. It wasn't his pitching.
Like I said, it was just reading the ESPN article. We'll get more in. Like I said, we'll get more of an answer by the next time. But
yeah, I don't know. Whole thing's kind of wild to me.
Yeah. So we'll see. We shall see. So, all right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Till next time, Amstone.
Bid you adieu.
Bid you adieu.
Bob Manfred, get fucked. Goodbye.